My name is Mishal Alam, and I am the lead developer on SurvivormanVR. The thing that excites me the most about this project is simply the fact that it is grounded in reality. That this situation, this narrative that we're building can actually happen to an individual that has chosen to go onto the Alps to take samples, right? That said, we really want to make this experience make sense in every way possible. We want to make sure that that milk crate on the mountain is there for a reason. Well, it fell off the plane before we crashed. We're really focusing on making this thing feel like a real simulation.
What we're trying to do in this game is sort of span the gap between simulation and game. And within that, in the simulations are normally used for training. So what we're able to kind of do on the simulation side of this is put in things that are real in the real world. Like, for example, the making of char cloth, which is to cook some organic fabric inside a metal box with no oxygen, which produces pure carbon, which is a very easy thing to get a fire lit with. So, some of the puzzles that you have to solve in the game are from the real world, and hopefully, like, maybe information that a player can take on and find useful at some point in the future.
So sometimes an idea on paper sounds pretty awesome, but realistically, when you try to implement that, you realize that it's not actually the greatest idea. So the iteration process is something that's really important, and more so what's important is getting the director to understand that we have to take certain shortcuts in the process so that the user can have a more enjoyable experience. An example would be we have the ability to craft certain items. Now, the director had suggested that it makes sense that we craft 2 items for your snowshoes because you have 2 feet. However, I suggested that we just craft it once and double it up in the end to give the perception that we built 2. And the reason why I suggested that was because of tediousness. To make 2 things, at the same time doesn't really make sense. So it was my decision to sort of have you craft just the 1 snowshoe, and once you're completed, it will double up and you get to wear them.
This game we're trying to keep different from other survival games in the sense that it's set in the real world. This is the greatest enemy for you is nature, is the elements, is exposure and dying. So most other survival games, or a lot of them, will have something supernatural within it, like whether or not it's fabricating and crafting some overly elaborate things that you probably never really be able to build, or to threats like wild animals that would come and eat you, or even the fantastical, like the zombie, the classic Minecraft, build, survive, zombies come after you at night. So most survival games sort of carry along that theme. What we're trying to do here is work with Les and his desire for authenticity, and find and do the research and find those things in nature that are scary, and have those as your enemy.